Solve NACONEK is therefore ill-advised. We urge the government to act decisively and ensure that NACONEK continues to deliver on its mandate of promoting equity and access to education for marginalized communities. We further demand that the recommendation of the Presidential Working Party report on NACONEK be implemented without further delay. The Council's mandate shall be enhanced and not curtailed. Therefore, the members of the Pastoralist group,
for the first time since colonialism, not independence, since the British colonialists came in here, our marginalized communities from the pastoralist areas now feel that they are going to get a fair share in this country because of NACONEK. Because of NACONEK. Those thugs, bureaucrats who think they can place their hands on that money, and we know it. I don't care whether in the Ministry of Education, I don't care where in other offices in the government, don't touch NACONEK. You touch NACONEK, you have touched all of us, 109 members of parliament here. There's going to be a storm, let me tell you one thing. Never touch that, because that is our lifeline. That is the future of our people. We are now seeing light at the end of the tunnel. NACONEK has made a serious transformation in the education of our children. And we expect the 1.5 million who have the one that attend school now to attend school in the shortest possible time with increased support.
Similar to what the rest of the country. And therefore, for somebody just to sit somewhere in office and say they are going to dissolve NACONEK, I think these are individuals who are completely out of touch. So we are telling them, if the issue is cost saving, there are a lot of wastages all over, everywhere. Go for other areas, look for resources. But touching NACONEK is taking us back. It's a product of our many years of struggle to have an affirmative action tailor-made for the children of the marginalized communities. Please leave NACONEK where it is. The only thing that we expect is
add some more.
Embolden it, more funding, more opportunities. That is what we expect. Not dissolution, and we will not accept. We will not accept.
Next critical role in advancing education for the marginalized communities must be safeguarded at all times. Number 3, immediate protection. We urge the government to take immediate steps to protect NACONEK's operations and its role in supporting education for nomadic and marginalized communities. Its proposed dissolution directly contradicts and dilutes the Cabinet's earlier decision to enhance NACONEK as recommended by the Presidential Working Party report on education reforms. It is baffling to note that the Cabinet had earlier strengthened the role of NACONEK in education for the marginalized by adopting the said proposals of the reports and later proposing dissolution of the institution is a contradiction of the highest order. This puts into the question the integrity of the individuals preparing the Cabinet reports. If not, on 21st January 2025, several key resolutions were made concerning state corporations, but of specific concern to PPG is the issue of NACONEK. The Cabinet's resolution's inclusion of NACONEK among entities proposed for dissolution is highly troubling and raises the following issues. Exclusion from initial proposal. NACONEK was not included in the initial category targeting commercial entities, regulatory authorities, and state corporations for mergers. Solve NACONEK is therefore ill-advised. We urge the government to act decisively and ensure that NACONEK continues to deliver on its mandate of promoting equity and access to education for marginalized communities. We further demand that the recommendation of the Presidential Working Party report on NACONEK be implemented without further delay. The Council's mandate shall be enhanced and not curtailed. Therefore, the members of the Pastoralist group collectively endorse this
organization. This organization represents our many years of struggle to have an organization that will enable the children of the pastoralist communities to get services.
Here we are told an institution that was specifically serving those underserved communities is being put out from serving the people, from getting resources that will improve education in asal areas. I think that is a wrong decision, and that is our position as the representative of the people from those areas. We cannot gainsay what reasons we have for having NACONEK continue. They are there. The task force on education that was put out by the president recommended that and required that NACONEK be empowered more. So what we are expecting as the representatives of the people is increased budget for NACONEK to provide that alternative education possibilities for the pastoralist and the nomadic children. And there are very many. We've already been told out of the 2.5 million Kenyan children out of education or not attending or accessing education, 1.5 come from these areas. Is that
services similar to what the rest of the country? And therefore, for somebody just to sit somewhere in office and say they are going to dissolve NACONEK, I think these are individuals who are completely out of touch. So we are telling them, if the issue is cost saving, there are a lot of wastages all over, everywhere. Go for other areas, look for resources. But touching NACONEK is taking us back. It's a product of our many years of struggle to have an affirmative action tailor-made for the children of the marginalized communities. Please leave NACONEK where it is. The only thing that we expect is embolden it, more funding, more opportunities. That is what we expect. Not dissolution, and we will not accept. We will not accept. And when them hear this, we will not accept. NACONEK is there to stay. Those Mandarins and the Ministry of Education look for opportunities elsewhere. Leave NACONEK alone. Thank you.
Today, the reason why there are quite a number of young learners going to school is because they're able to get school meals, they're able to get uji. And if you do away with that, it means a lot of those learners have no business going to school because they go to school to get a meal that they are not likely to get in their villages. Thirdly, and more importantly, as the Pastoralist Parliamentary Group, we are 109 members. That is not a small number. We are interested parties, a group that must be seriously consulted on an issue that affects all our communities across 15 counties in Kenya. So for that reason, we demand that
rationalizing these organizations was duplicity, that other organizations are doing this same function. There is no other organization that is doing what NACONEK is doing. NACONEK is the soul of education in pastoralist areas, and the government cannot give with one hand and take away with the other hand. It's important that we bring it back so that the children of the past.
Any attempt to do away with NACONEK simply means you are wishing away the lives of so many young learners in arid and semi-arid land. The other thing, the idea of saying let us put away NACONEK is to save funds.
Million Kenyan children out of education or not attending or accessing education, 1.5 come from these areas. Is that a group you would want to get out of the system again? How are you going to reach to those children when you remove an institution that was serving? So it is our considered view as the leadership of the pastoralist communities in this republic that NACONEK.
Such a decision which will take us back on the gains that we made in regard to the child, that pastoralist child. We all know that 70% of our children are out of school. If you've been in Garissa, you've been in Mandera, Wajir, and in Mosiro, in Narok County, Turkana, West Pokot, you'll know what we are talking about. I have been there personally because I was a council member in NACONEK, and we know the importance of NACONEK. And therefore, we are saying as pastoralist group, parliamentary group, that nobody should touch NACONEK, because if you are touching NACONEK, you are touching us. And you are touching the children of the pastoralists.
Ama tusonge nyuma, are we too close?
Songeni kidogo.